leads and those potential sales, do you get really frustrated because you know that you're letting those beautiful humans, all those leads, like slip through the cracks, and you keep trying to keep on top of everything, but then it feels like you've got leads over here and post-it notes over there, and you know notes everywhere, and you're just not sure how to organize it all so that no leads fall through the cracks. Well, today we're going to be talking about pipelines, how to set up an opportunity pipeline to ensure that your leads never fall through the cracks, that every lead is nurtured and every potential sale is maximized. So stay tuned as we do our sparkle song, and then we'll get stuck into the content. Hang on in, guys. We'll be back in 3.5 for
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art. You should know that you are perfect with those flaws. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Know that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. And who cares if you might mess it up? You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine. You're stronger than the others think. And who cares if you might mess it up? Shine. Go ahead and shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine, shine, darling. Go ahead and shine, my dear. 'Cause who cares if you might mess it up? Just shine.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Strategy with Sally. It's our weekly live, and thank you so much for joining me. Today, we're going to talk about a critical role of an opportunity pipeline that will help you improve your sales strategy. Now, let me know in the chat. Come on, let's be totally honest. Do you currently use an opportunity pipeline? Get those tippy tap fingers out and let me know. Are you currently using an opportunity pipeline? I'm waiting. I'm seeing fingers tapping. I'm seeing people looking down. Come on, be interactive. Yes. Okay, here we go. We've got a few coming in. I've got to fix these little things here. Yeah, we got a not yet from Erica. Well, after today, we are totally going to get into that. Joanne's like, what is that? Well, good question. And Kathy even said she doesn't know what it is. Well, that's great. That means I'm going to be able to help teach you something new today. So, whether or not you're starting fresh or potentially refining your current process, understanding and implementing an actual structured pipeline will significantly enhance the way in which your business runs and the outcomes in which you get. So, let's talk about first, what is an opportunity pipeline? Well, it's a pipeline that is a visual representation of your structured system that you're using to track potential sales or opportunities. So, from that initial contact when they give you their email address, right through to when they say yes. And you break this down into small stages, steps, or phrases so that it corresponds with the actual journey that that lead or prospect takes from becoming a lead all the way through to becoming a customer. Now, why is it more than just a sales tool? It's because it goes beyond just merely a tracking mechanism. It's an opportunity pipeline that is really a strategic roadmap for managing all your leads and your prospects. What it does is it really ensures that every single opportunity is systematically nurtured and progressed through the different stages. And this prevents leads falling through the cracks and also being neglected. Now, you know, when I build automation, one of my rules is no dead ends. And having an opportunity pipeline ensures that. Now, the importance of it, it will really give you so much clarity around your sales process. It will enable you and your sales team to really prioritize where they're spending their efforts, because you want to focus on those high potential leads, right? Those that are really engaged or really close to the sale. And it also allows you to work out where should you allocate all of your resources. And you can visually see the sales journey so that you can focus on where is that revenue currently sitting. You know, can you identify areas in your sales process that might need improving? So, this is how it works. What you do is you map out all the different stages that a lead would go through. So, for example, if you're out prospecting, right, or you're getting leads and you get a new email address, it would be a new lead. And you don't know yet if they're qualified for your program, but it's just an email address, right? It's a lead. Then you've got to think about, well, what's the qualification for them? So, how do we know they're a good fit for your product or service? Once you've qualified them, you may do a proposal, maybe you do some sales calls or a couple of sales calls. Then maybe you move into a negotiation period and then eventually close. So you see, the opportunity pipeline, it helps you to facilitate a better decision-making process. It improves the communication between the sales and also the marketing team. And overall, it's just going to increase your sales. Pretty simple. But so many people don't use it, and this is why leads fall through the cracks. Now, some benefits of having a structured opportunity pipeline is that it will improve efficiency. So, you will be able to clearly see the stages and the criteria for your potential leads, and also seeing your business in a way that leads move through their life cycle with you. And this will reduce the amount of time you spend with unqualified prospects. And it will help you to focus on the actual deals that are higher and closer to that conversion point. Now, another one is it's going to boost your conversion rate. A really great structured pipeline will enable your sales team to identify and address any bottlenecks. And maybe there's delays in the sales cycle. So, being proactive in always looking at your pipeline daily, it will increase that likelihood of converting a sale or converting a lead into a paying customer. I look at my pipeline multiple times a day. Also, a great benefit is it enhances your forecasting. So, with a really clear view on where each prospect stands in the pipeline, and also, if you do close them, what is the value of that potential lead? So, this helps you make really informed decisions around resource allocation and any of those growth strategies that you might be thinking of. Now, another benefit is it's going to really build that customer relationship, right? A structured approach ensures that everybody receives a consistent but also a really personalized communication to them throughout their journey through from lead to customer and then hopefully onto raving fan. So, this customer experience, what it really does is it fosters that really long term relationship. Now, let's talk about tools. There are lots of different tools that you can use to really manage an opportunity pipeline. So, some of the top tools and technologies are available out there to support all businesses managing their opportunity pipeline. So, when I first started, it was plastic pockets, right? I had plastic pockets and pieces of paper, and they moved through the pipeline in a book with plastic pockets and slips of paper. Then I got a little bit more techie and I moved to Excel spreadsheets. But the game changer was finally when I realized that having a CRM system, which is a customer relationships management system, it really helped to centralize all my leads and my customers. I could track their information, I could track their interactions, and also I could automate follow up. And you know the fortunes in the follow up, right? Now, they really provide a great insight into your customers' behavior and also help you to personalize that communication and that experience. Now, on top of your CRM, you also need to have really good automation software. So, automation tools will help to really streamline a lot of the repetitive tasks like email outreach, scheduling follow ups, updating lead statuses. They will improve the sales team's productivity and also ensure that there's really timely engagement with the prospects. Like they don't just message you and wait days for a response. Now, another great thing about having good tools in your back pocket is analytics or sexy numbers, baby, right? You want to be able to see analytics so that you can offer really actionable insights into that pipeline's performance. So you can see conversion rates, sales trends, bottlenecks. They'll really help you identify opportunities so that you can optimize and also make data-driven decisions, which I love, right? Don't just guess it. Look at those sexy numbers and then make a decision. Now, also you can integrate your pipeline into lots of other things like we spoke, which is your CRM and your automation tool, but also you can make sure that data flows smoothly across all the different departments from marketing and sales and then your onboarding and customer fulfillment. And it will enhance that collaboration and also just the efficiency of how your business runs. So what you really want to do, move away from pieces of paper and Excel spreadsheets. Set up in a system that not only can you visually see it with all where the money's sitting, but also get that amazing automation in place to be able to help you. So let's talk now about your GSD activity for today. I want you to start to outline what is your opportunity pipeline. With everything we discussed today, start to think about the different stages in which they would go through in order to be a client. Now, let me head on over to my computer and who would like to see an example of a sales pipeline? Yeah? Come on. Yes? Everyone's real quiet. There's a lot of people in here, but everyone's very quiet. Joanne's like, yes, yes, yes. Thumbs up. Awesome. All right. Oh, I love how the new Zoom feature throws the thumbs up. Come on, throw me lots of hearts and reactions, and looks like they all come up on the screen. That's pretty cool. All right. Yeah. All right, let's have a look here. So if I find my right button to head over to, now, actually, let's do this together. Before I show you the opportunity pipeline, get your tippy tap fingers out and come back to me if you're multitasking right now, and let's brainstorm this out together. So what would you say would be the first point of contact? Now, I'll give you a little hint. It's lead, okay? They become a lead. And what do we say is a lead? A lead is when they give you either their email address or their phone number or both. But nothing else has really happened yet. We've maybe had our first introduction, or we have had our, let's come on over to the iPad and we'll write a few of these down. So one is a lead. Now, after they become a lead, you may have just met them somewhere, or they've come in through a paid ad and they've given you their name and email address. Now, the next step after that is they're starting to talk backwards and forwards with us, right? They're having a communication. That would be the next step. So if we think about a communication, that would be, for me, the second step would be a lead has now responded. Okay, so now they're chatting with us. We're starting to qualify them. We're starting to think about, can they afford us? Are they the decision maker? Have they purchased something like this in the past that shows that they're willing to spend? Is their pain point strong enough? Right? Do they really need to pay to get this problem fixed? So that's a lead responded or an engaged lead. Now, there may be a few different steps in between, such as booking appointments. So maybe you do an appointment. We actually do 2 different types of appointments. And if you get a lot of appointments, I recommend that you put a setter at the first appointment, right? Or an intro call. Now, what this setter does is this setter will decide whether or not they're qualified and then ready for a longer sales conversation, right? So it's a really short phone call, asking a few sort of select questions to qualify them to make sure that they're even worth speaking to in regards to a sales conversation. And if they're not, don't just throw them away. They may not be qualified yet. They might be qualified later. So what you would do with that person is you would put them into a long-term nurture. Now, I would put the long-term nurture way down here. Long-term nurture. So it's still in the pipeline, but we can see they're still sitting in the pipeline getting a long-term nurture. Now, after the first appointment, the second appointment that we would have is now the sales call, right? It's the sales call. For us, it's a demo call. So we're demoing the software. For you, it could be called a discovery session, a strategy session. It doesn't really matter what you call it, right? It does the same thing. The purpose of it is to potentially get a sale. Now, if we're thinking about no dead ends, what happens in a sales call or doesn't happen in a sales call or an intro call? They don't show up or they cancel the appointment. Now, we don't want those people to fall through the cracks. So we also in the pipeline should put the intro call if it's been cancelled or if it was a no-show. Because then our goal is to get them rescheduled. And you would also do that with the sales call, right? You would have a cancelled section with no or a no-show. Whoops, spelling's so bad today. And then, of course, there would be an automation going out that's saying, oh, you missed your appointment. Let's try and get you back on the calendar and rebook. Now, once they attend the appointment, there's a couple of things that can happen. One, which we all want, right, is they become a buyer, right? So you've won the deal and they've paid the money. The next one could be that they didn't buy, right? Maybe there was a reason for them not buying. Maybe they need to speak to a partner. Maybe they need to go and check their finances and get back to you. Now, if you get a didn't buy, make sure you book your next conversation, right? Always book your follow-up. How long do you need? When will you speak to your partner? And then, of course, they become a customer. And the other thing is maybe they're a bad fit. They're just not a good fit for your business. And that's okay too, because not everyone is going to be the right fit. You really should be going for the no. The more no's you get, the more people you speak to, the higher probability that you're going to get sales. I mean, it's just math, right? The more people you speak to, the more no's you're going to get, and also the more yeses you're going to get. Go for the no. Always be going for the no. The more no's you go for, the more yeses you will find, right? And you'll only convert 2%, 3% of those people that you speak to are at any given time. Say you've got a list of 100 people, there's probably only 2 to 3 people that are actually ready to buy. Sales and marketing, it's a numbers game. The more people you speak to, the more sales you get. It's just basic math. All right, so let me show you inside of OmniSam so you can see this in action. So let's head on over to OmniSam. Now, down in OmniSam, I'm just in my demo account and I've got a very basic one here set up for you under opportunities. Now, under opportunities, you will see pipelines. So when they become a lead, okay, so here, we've got 330 people in here as a lead. And when they start talking, we can just drag them over here and they become interested. So now we know these people are more likely to close. We still want to continue to go through this list every day, look at the list, but anyone who talks to you, you want to spend more time here. Here we see when they've booked an appointment, and you can start putting in the price of if they say yes, what would that sale be worth? And then it really starts to give you an idea of how much money is sitting on the table. Then, of course, if they're not interested, you do the appointment and they're not interested, you can move them to there. Then we would put them into a long-term nurture, because not interested doesn't mean forever. Maybe it just means for now. And then maybe this Letitia that we've got here in Not Interested, she opts back in to another lead magnet and she ends up back down here in the new lead. And you'll be able to see that on her file, that she has now moved to a new lead, which means she's come back through. Maybe she's more interested now. Then, of course, you've got your sales pipeline here, and it shows you how much you have won, right? How many you have sold. Now, we can filter this list and, once they hit sold, they go to a closed deal, so we no longer have an open client that we need to follow up with. But after this section, I would then move them into an onboarding, right? You want to make sure they've got a really great experience when you're onboarding. So this is the lead pipeline to sale. You should also have an onboarding pipeline as well. Now, let me give you a demo inside of, let's have a look. Let's do a wedding planner. Okay, so we've got a few businesses in the box that we're about to launch later this week. So all our betas, keep your eye out. But this is, again, an a wedding planner, they would get a new lead, an engaged lead. The engaged lead would book an intro call, then, or sorry, a no show or an intro call. So we've got the two in here to make sure that if they book a call, they move into here and other automation happens. Then once they go through the intro, we want them to book a consult or a sales call. Or again, we do want to make sure that we put anyone who cancels or no show in here. We can then choose, like, did they buy after the call or not? Did they become a customer or were they a bad fit? And I would have a long-term nurture in here as well if you want to sit somebody in a long-term nurture until they're ready again. So this is a sales pipeline. We look at ours multiple times a day. And for those in the VIP room, hang on in because we will go into more detail around the automation and everything that goes on behind the pipeline with you once we go dark. But can you see how being able to see every single person and where they are in your pipeline? For me, nobody comes out of my pipeline unless they literally tell me to piss off or they hit that unsubscribe button. It is my responsibility as a business owner to do the follow-up. It is not theirs. I never want to hear any of you say, oh, call me when you're ready. No, you ask them, how long do you need to think about it? Or how long until you get to watch that video I sent you and then book your next follow-up? Never, ever have a conversation without, or finish a conversation without booking your next conversation, even if it's in 6 months' time. Great. I'll pencil you in and I'll reach out to you in 6 months. Have a great half a year. But in the meantime, you'll be sending them long-term nurture emails, educational content, so they don't forget about you. And then in 6 months' time, pick up the phone, send them a text message and check in with them because just like you said you were going to, you will do your job, right? This is part of running a business. If you don't follow up, you are leaving hundreds, if not thousands, or hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table if you are not following up multiple times. And having an opportunity pipeline is really going to help you with that. All right, great. So I want you now to think about your GSD. I want you to start to map out what are the steps for you. Now, if you're one of our betas, we do have business in a boxes coming later on this week, and we'll be putting these into your system and then helping you customize them with a long-term nurture and so many good bits. And we'll give you a sneak peek in the VIP room after we go dark. So any VIPs out there on the live stream, come on in to the Zoom or the VOZ because we will be going kind of next level into this opportunity pipeline. But now I want you to start to map it out, right? Remember, building an opportunity pipeline is not about just managing leads. It's about creating a structured approach to your sales process. It's going to help you to focus on consistency, tracking progress, and also allow you to adapt strategies based on data-driven decisions. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in today with Strategy with Sally. We are here same time every single week. Before we go, let's have a look. Who wants to come up and share a key takeaway for today? Looks like Maria's already got her hand up. She's hot to trot. Let's have a look here. Maria.
And Sally, I take opportunities anytime. So look, it's great that you explain about pipelines. So I one of my question was, so obviously this is not automatic. We have to move them through the pipeline and
No.
drag them, right?
Not everything, no. So we'll go into that in more detail. Some things will move automatically depending on the action that they take, right? So if you're using OmniSam and they reply to a text message, it will automatically move them to lead responded. If they reply to an email, it will automatically move them to lead responded. When they book a call, it will move them to book a call. If they don't show, you'll click a button that says they didn't show, and it will move them to didn't show, and then start a follow-up sequence for you. When they make a sale, it'll move them to a sale, right? And you just need to make sure, like, you tick the boxes when you need to, the action the humans need to take, and the action that your prospect takes, the human takes, some of their actions will actually automatically move them. Now, there are instances where you will need to manually move them. Okay, maybe they called you or you bumped into them at the supermarket and you continue that conversation. The system's not going to recognize that that lead is now talking to you. Yeah, so you'll move them into that one so we can see. But we automate
And
as
how
much as possible.
Right. And how many pipelines do you recommend that are built here in opportunities? I'm in my
Yeah,
OmniSign screen,
yeah.
and so yeah. So how many do you recommend
To
for people
keep
that start with me?
Yeah, keep it super simple. I would have a lead to customer pipeline to begin with. So that lead and the one that I literally showed you on the screen is exactly the way you should set it up. But we're going to give it to you with all the back end automation soon. The second one is your onboarding pipeline, because you have 30 days to make an amazing impression, and you want to make sure that you give the best amount of results in the first 30 days. So make sure that they're sitting in the opportunity pipeline, onboarding pipeline, right through to leaving a review. That's part of, after they've worked with you, you've onboarded them, say maybe you've checked in with them at the 4-week mark, then you want to check in with them at 8 weeks. Maybe they had to implement something, then you move them to they, ran their first live event or webinar, and then they leave you a testimonial, would be at the end. And then referrals, if they start giving you a referral, that would also be in that, customer and beyond pipeline. So that's the two that I would recommend. We also have a couple of others. We have a affiliate pipeline. So if you're working with partners or you want to collaborate with people, create an opportunity pipeline, because those people are people that you're going to tap into their list, right? So the first stage in an opportunity pipeline would be lead contacted. They're not replying, but once they reply, affiliate or partner replied, right? And then you'll book an appointment to have a real life conversation with them. And they'll either say yes or no if they want to work with you. And then if you've got a contract that you need to send out to them. So that's another one that we have for collaborations or partnerships, joint ventures. And if you're running a huge a paid campaign and you're investing a lot of money in one particular funnel, I would set up a pipeline for that funnel, right? So if I've got 500 leads coming in because I've paid $10,000, I want to separate them from the organic leads that we're creating from going to events and conversations, right? But to begin with, if you're not having hundreds of leads coming in every day, just stick with one sales pipeline. I'll show you something else that you can do in the pipeline as well. So let me just go back to the demo account. So when they come in through the pipeline, what you can also do is say how, right? So down here, you will see opportunity source. So you could say that you went to, the Geelong Small Business Festival, right? So I've just put in that. And now I can see where the lead has come from. Also, every time you talk to a lead, you can add a note to the file as well, spoke with them at Geelong Small Business Festival and they have a white fluffy dog, right? So next time you talk to him, you go, how's your white fluffy dog? Right? Add that note to the file. Not only does it add it here in the opportunity card, but if you click up here and go to the customer's file, it also adds it as a note in the customers file as well. So even if you're not in the opportunity section of OmniSam, you can see the notes over. Where are the notes? Here, notes. So you can see the notes, the date, who put it in, and then maybe they say, hey, I'm going away, but can you call me on Friday? At a task here for yourself to call them on Friday. Or back in the opportunity pipeline, right? You could book an appointment directly in the pipeline. You know, choose the calendar, they book a call with me, the date and time, right? And then where are you going to meet them? Maybe in Zoom, you'd put the Zoom link. And then when you book that appointment, it's going to send an email to them and confirm that appointment as well, right? And maybe, you know, on the Friday, you might want to reach out to them before the appointment, and you can set up a manual task in here as well. So everything that you do in here is to streamline your processes, and it keeps everything in one place. Was that helpful? Excellent.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Who else wants to share a key takeaway? Come on, turn your cameras on. Come on up. You know I like 3 of you. There's many of you in here, and everyone's got their cameras off. Come on. Do I have to get the purple whip out? Yep. Joanne's here. Kathy's here. Look, they're all starting to turn their cameras on. I love it. All right. Let's bring up Joanne first. Joanne, what was a key takeaway for you? She's looking for the button. There she is.
I actually got a chuckle when you said you started out with a plastic pocket and papers
I
because you
thought of
know
you
that's
too.
where I am. But this system really does seem like great automation. You know, as I said to Christy the other day, it's like it does everything but make the bed. Unfortunately, it as she explained to me, it does not take the place of Canva and it does not take the place of Zoom, but
Correct.
everything else is automated, which is like fabulous.
I know, right?
The one thing that I was gonna hold, but I'll ask since you called on me.
Yeah.
People in my group are not gonna be follow-up. You know, it's like unless they lose another baby, that's probably not gonna happen. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking I keep in touch to see, you know, how you're doing and, you know, if the class has helped you. And that instead of like, you know, do you want to rebook? Please God, I hope not. But if you want to rebook, I'm looking at referrals or testimonials.
Correct.
Is that
Yeah.
like correct?
We can
Okay.
totally do that in your funnel. The thing is you can still automate some really heartfelt text messages at, you know,
Mm-hmm.
4 weeks post working with you and 8 weeks. And, you know, if you know the date of the birth that the baby passed, you could send a little love note via a text message to say, thinking about you today. And we can
Mm-hmm.
put that date as a custom field in the file so that every year you send a little message, you know, with the name of their baby. We can insert that as well into a custom field to show that you're thinking about them. Now, it may not be you, it is the system, but you thought enough to set it up to begin with, right? And at the end of the day, it's because you care. And to be able to automate stuff like that is really beautiful. So follow up may not be to get them back. Follow up is to check in on them because you care.
The long-term nurture.
Yeah, beautiful. And you know what? If they end up meeting other people, and once you've lost a baby, I know you start meeting lots of people that have lost a baby, and they're
Mm-hmm.
going to go, oh my God, I work with this amazing woman, Joanne. And you know what? They won't forget you because you're always showing up on the right
Mm-hmm.
dates. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
absolutely.
thinking around holidays and
Those
how
things too.
difficult that is, and
Hmm.
you know.
And I'll also show you what you're also getting in your business in a box is a 2-year nurture. So for you, it will be all
Oh.
writing, but they're actually sent based on the time of the year. So January, December, you know, Easter. You can actually specifically write each email based on what season they're in as well to let them know that you're thinking of them. Yeah.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, I'll show you all of that. I can't wait to launch the businesses in a box. They're getting so close. It's going to be this week. Kathy, come on up. What's your key takeaway from today?
Well, not so much a takeaway or a question, more now I know what an opportunity pipeline is.
Yay.
So that's always good. Of course, I knew that sort of thing happened and was in the background, but I never knew it was called an opportunity pipeline. So just good having some words to the process.
Yeah. And you
So
know
that
what?
was my takeaway.
I love that. And the words are really important too, because it could be called lots of things as well, but even when you're training your team about what you call different things, like do you call them a lead or a prospect, or having that verbiage communicated across your entire team so everyone's talking the same language, because there's multiple ways, tomato, tomato, to say the same thing. So I'm glad you learned something new. Well, actually, you knew what it was, but you didn't have the words. So, yay, thanks for sharing.
Exactly.
Erica's in the room. Hey, Erica, so lovely to see you. What's your key takeaway from today?
Hello. I was thinking about, I know you had that robust spreadsheet versus that. Like, I just like being able to see it on the screen and to follow the journey of those potential leads, I think is what you shared.
Yeah.
So
Now,
I just,
that really robust spreadsheet that we used to use, we can now replicate it in here, because Keep never really had in Keep Max a great pipeline system. It had this, but this does more because it connects to text messages and all sorts of things. But we can look at rebuilding that in here. So, yeah, so the spreadsheet's great, but the different stages they go through where, they are communicating in the Facebook group and they are in the DMs, and then they book, they're in that lead responded section. So, we could simplify that spreadsheet into a pipeline now for you as well. So when you move them, it triggers other things. So that'll be something like all pipelines, guys. All pipelines will be constantly iterated and improved upon. Yeah? They're not set in cement. If you feel that it needs another stage, it's your business. Put in the other stage, right? It's like, I don't want to give any personal information away on the thing, but those in the VIP room, I'll show you what we've got going for OmniSam, right? How, I've added an extra couple of steps in because I felt like it really needed it. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to head out now. All of our VIPs and beta testers, come on into the VIP room. So we're going to stay and do more Q&A, more strategy with me for the next hour or two, unless I've got meetings. I haven't looked at my calendar yet. I just got up and ready for this one. But thank you, everyone who joined us live. If you're out there on the live stream, or you are listening or watching to this on replay, well, first off, #replay, so we know that you've made it to the end. Good on you. You must like us or something if you've made it all the way to the end of 43 minutes I've been streaming for. Well done. And let us know what your key takeaway is, right? We put all this amazing goodness out there, and a little message at the bottom about what your key takeaway is. Stop for a second and think about it and get that shit done. Right? Make sure that you start mapping out your pipeline. You've got a GSD task to do today, right? Set up that initial stage and define that criteria to qualify a lead. And then how do we move them through the pipeline? All right, have a great day, everyone. Never let anyone dull your sparkle. Make sure you get at least one income-producing activity done each and every day. Now, we still have got 6 places left in our beta group for OmniSam. So if you're interested in being our beta, getting a heavily reduced price if you decide to stay with OmniSam, then please reach out to myself or my team and go to omnisam.com.au and check out the demo first. See if it's something you're interested in. I'll talk to you all next week on the live, and you never know when I'll pop my head in onto the socials. Have a great one, guys. Bye.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step in into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long.